Top travel tips and gear. I'm very excited about this video because I love traveling and I love discovering new apps, gear, etc. to make my travel more fun, easier. So today I'm going to actually pull out my bag of tricks, stuff that I use when I travel abroad. And then also, I have asked ChatGPT to share a list of apps, and then I'll be sharing my screen and we'll go through the apps. But before I do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Naina Kaputi. I'm the founder and CEO of the Expat Woman. I'm originally from India and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I love traveling both locally and internationally. And I really believe that travel opens our minds, especially when we are living abroad. It's transformational. We've already experienced living in a different country, and we might not have the opportunity to be expats in more than a couple of countries. I do know some women who have been expats uh, in, multiple countries, but I've just been an expat in the US, and of course, I've lived in India. And for me, travel is kind of playing temporary expat, getting to experience countries for a short period of time. And I don't like staying at hotels. I like staying at Airbnbs in the neighborhoods to experience more of that country or that city. So I believe travel is not just for fun and sightseeing, but also transformational. I will share links to some live streams I did in the previous few weeks on transformational travel, places to visit. I go live every week, at least for April and now May. I've been going live every week, and this month, May, it's all focused on transformational travel. So let's start with gear that I use. I have a basket here with all the stuff that I've been using, and I will share links to them in the description of this video. But what I have on the top, because I walk a lot when we travel, and so for me, shoes are really important. So these are the shoes, and you can see they're a little bit dusty. Um, but yeah, I need to have comfortable walking shoes. These are Dr. Scholl's walking shoes. They look nice, they're not like regular sneakers, and they're comfortable to walk around no matter what the terrain is. Of course, if you're hiking, trekking, etc., you need a different pair of shoes. So that's the Dr. Scholl walking shoes. Now, I wanted to share a little story, something that happened 3 years ago, was it? Or 2 years ago when we went to Switzerland. Usually I'm very careful about my stuff. Like I keep it close to my chest when we're traveling, passports or my wallet. But in Switzerland, I had my guard down. And so I have this really cool bag, a Chanel bag, and I was walking around with this, like I had it across, and this was on a train heading back from Switzerland to Germany. And when we had to break journey. I mean, we had to switch trains. I forgot where in Switzerland, and everyone rushed for the train. I did too. Now, luckily, I only had my wallet in here. I didn't have my passports. My husband had my passport, and this woman kept pushing me, and she kept turning back to talk to someone. I was very distracted because I wanted to get a seat, because I think the journey from that station, I don't remember the name of the station. Of course, after what happened, I completely forgot it. But uh, it was quite a distance, so I didn't want to have to stand. And I have 3 kids, my husband, so I wanted to make sure we all had seats. Anyway, so the train started moving, and my middle son wanted to go to the dining car, so we to have eat something. So we went to the dining car, and we ordered coffee and sandwiches, pastries. And then I opened my purse, and I used this in Switzerland because I thought, oh, it's fancy, shanty, expensive, high end country. And then when I looked in, there was no wallet. The woman had taken my wallet. I don't know if I'd zipped the purse or not, so it's partly my fault too. But and we couldn't trace it, and then we figured out. I spoke to the train conductors, and they said there are these folks they're gypsies, and they dress up like tourists, and this woman looked like a tourist, and then this is what they do, and then before the train boards they leave, so there was no way for me to get my wallet back. Anyway, so that was the story, and that's what led me to get this. Let me see if I have it here. This last year when we went to India, Japan, Australia, and you can see it's a little, yeah, so it's one of these crossbody things, and it's got different pockets, and so yeah, it's got a mark here. I think I need to give it a wash. But yeah, it's got different pockets, so you can have, and like the one for the wallet, really deep. So now I use this. I keep it right next to my chest. I keep the zips on the inside. So sometimes you have to go through a bad experience to buy something, but I think that's really important, and you can never let your guard down. You cannot, you can't just assume, oh, this country's safe, or this is like a fancy train, so I can let my guard down. Even your luggage you have to keep an eye on. Okay, the next one is this little this pouch thing, and all these things I bought on Amazon to carry all your cords and stuff, your cables, because I need a cable for my phone, then for my laptop, then for my watch. So I like separating them out, and this way I have them, they don't get entangled. So this is like a, yeah, so this is really good, and it's again, it's easy, it folds, it doesn't take up too much room, so you can put it in your suitcase. Now this one was a big game changer for me. Oh my gosh, I'm just like fixing my hair so like messy. So this one was a huge game changer for me. I didn't even know these existed. This is how much of a bubble I live in. So last year, my oldest son, who was in his final year of high school, was going to Thailand on a culinary trip. So he was doing the culinary program at his high school, and they were going to Thailand. And the parents were invited to one of those where they do a slideshow and they tell you where the kid is going, what they're going to do, what they should pack. And his instructor, who was leading the culinary trip, he showed us his backpack. He said, I fit everything in this backpack, that's all I'm taking. And then he pulled out these travel cubes. Now most of you might be aware of travel cubes. I wasn't, even though I've traveled for so many years. And he said, I fit everything into these travel cubes, and then they fit into my backpack. And I was like, wow, I need to buy these. So last year, I think we were going to Australia. We went to Australia in April, and then we went to India and Japan in July. So as soon as I came home, I started researching travel cubes. I found them on Amazon, and I bought them, and they've been amazing. So yeah, it comes in different sizes. Yeah, it comes in different sizes. So there's the biggest one, and then there are smaller ones, and so you can fit your larger clothes in one. There's even one for shoes, one for your toiletries, one for smaller clothes. Oh my gosh, this is such a game changer for me because it barely takes up any room. And I when I whether we stay at a hotel or an Airbnb, I just keep them in there, in the travel cubes of clothes, so I can keep them separated, and then I can they're not touching the drawers, even if the drawers are lined. It's just, yeah, it's been amazing. I'm not very organized when it comes to travel. I'm not very organized in general, but the travel cubes are amazing. I think it even has a little laundry bag for dirty clothes. So I mean, there's so many different kinds. I'll share the link to the one I use. Okay, so that's travel cubes, another game changer for me. um, when I fly, especially since we do a lot of long flights, because we go to India every year, and then we might break journey at a country in Europe or Asia, I my feet get swollen, and then when I come back, it's so painful. Even though I try and walk on the flight a bit and in the airports, and I do some foot exercises, so I discovered compression socks. So so last year I wore them for the Australia trip, and then for the India and Japan trips, I didn't have any swelling in my feet. So that's another, huge travel gear that has made my life easier when I travel abroad. Like one year it was so bad, my feet were so swollen, I had to go to the doctor when I came back, and I didn't have any issues. I hope I'm not jinxing myself, but I think these compression socks really help. So compression socks. Okay, what else do I have? Okay, this one I haven't used yet. It is, but my brother-in-law gave it to me, and it's a wallet which he said, sometimes people can, when you're traveling, they have some kind of device and they can read your credit cards and get all the information. So this is like a blocker. It blocks all your credit cards, your ID, etc. So no one can get access to them if they have that reader. So I'm going to try this here and tell you how it goes. It's called a travel ambo. So that's something I haven't used yet, but I'm definitely going to try it. Okay, what else? Okay, um then of course, the chargers, little charging blocks. So when you, and again, you have to make sure we travel to so many different countries, so we have to make sure we have those, the right power, whatever you call power strips or conversion, electricity conversion. But these, just to charge my cell phone, this is great. So this is something else that I carry with me. And then of course, I have these headphones, but I use these noise canceling headphones, or to listen to podcasts at the airport or watch YouTube videos, and then of course on the plane as well. So noise canceling headphones, um, selfie sticks if you like taking photographs. So that's the thing, and this is the one I use. I got another selfie sticks too, this time, because I like this one. You have to fit into your iPhone and stuff. But I got another one where you it's a magnet and you just stick it to the back. So I'll also share a link to that in the. I'm going to try that one this year, because it's, with this one you have to move, pull it apart and then put your phone in, and then every time you change your phone and the size of the phone changes, then I'm not sure if I'm planning to get a newer phone. I don't know if it'll fit in that, so I bought a magnetic stick. So selfie sticks are definitely cool. Especially, I've been encouraging expat women to make YouTube videos. So, excuse me, if you're traveling, having a selfie stick to take videos of you on the flight, on the countries you travel to. And also, a lot of the stuff I'm sharing here is also helpful to people moving to another country. Like, you're moving and you have to take a lot of clothes. The cubes are so helpful. Packing your cords, you want to record your journey of moving to the new country. So it's not just for travel. A lot of the things can be used by new expats as well. What else? Okay, I just have a couple of more things. What else do I have? Oh yeah, this, you know, when I come back from India, especially, I'm always worried about the weight of my suitcases, and the Airbnbs don't have a weighing scale. So I bought this. I haven't used it yet, but I will use it this year. So it's a portable weight, like a scale. So you just attach a suitcase here and then you weigh it, because it depends on the flight, but some flights only allow you one check-in bag, and it has to be below 50 kgs. I think that's 20 something pounds. So, and I'm always worried about, I think only once we were overweight and then we had to like move stuff around from one suitcase to another. The Asian flights, the flights through Asia normally let you carry two check-in bags, but the European flights uh, allow you with one bag. So anyway, yeah, so I'm very excited about this digital luggage scale. And then, yeah, that's it. But I also wanted to share this cute gift that since we're talking about travel, my mother-in-law sent me this gift for Mother's Day, and it's soaps from different countries. So this soap is from Fiji. I haven't been to Fiji yet, and I was thinking a lot of these countries I haven't been to, and I'd like to travel to. This one's from Paris. I've been to Paris a couple of times. This one is from Kyoto. I went to Tokyo, but I haven't visited Kyoto yet. So, and they all have different fragrances. The Kyoto one is cherry blossom. It smells so good. The Paris one is lavender, sunflower, and grapeseed oil. Oh my gosh, each one smells so good. The Fijian one is coconut milk, macadamia oil, and pure honey. Hmm. So each of the soaps represents, I guess, the main fragrances from that country. This is London, it's black, and it's got everything got a little battered in I think when she was packaging and sending it. But the London one has black tea, thyme leaf, and bergamot, because I know, they love their tea, right? In London. This one is Sicily. This one is fresh lemon and extra virgin olive oil. Love it. And then this is Morocco, and Morocco's fresh ginger, golden argan oil, and kaolin clay. I told my mother-in-law this was such a like thoughtful gift, especially since I love traveling. It's called Around the World Shea Butter Soaps. I'm not sure if it's available on Amazon, but since you're talking about travel, how cool is that, right? And she had no idea, and I told her I'm going to share this on my YouTube channel. So it's Around the World Shea Butter Soaps, fragrances inspired by evocative locales, are enriched with botanical butters, oil, and extracts, then triple milled for a rich soap that won't turn gloppy. Treat your guests and yourself with spa like scents in the bath or a lingerie drawer. So it's made in the US by a company that's been family owned for more than 50 years. Lovely gift. Thank you, mom in law. All right. So those were some of the gear. Now, you let me know in the comments, or if you're watching this live, you let me know in the chat what are some must have travel gear that you carry with you when you travel abroad. I'd love to know, because I'm always looking for more ideas to make my travel simple, and also not to make it too bulky, to make it so, if you have the right gear, then you're not worrying about things that you shouldn't be having to worry about. You can just focus on your trip, on the places you're seeing, the food you're eating, the people you're meeting. All right. And I think I need to move these soaps out. As much as I love the fragrances, there are too many right now. And the smell is going to give me like a coughing fit. Oh, yes. And I forgot, finally, the last one. You can never carry water on a flight. I have a backpack, and then I put this water bottle in the pouch of my backpack. Excuse me. So this I bought last year. And I found it, it has a straw. Usually in the past, I would have the twist cap for my water, but this is easy. And even when you get onto the flight, sometimes they take so long to bring you the water. So I carry this with water. Then at the airport, before we go through immigration, customs, whatever you call it, I um, I empty it, and then I fill it again on the other side. So I have water when I board the flight, and I'm not waiting for the air hostess. I was looking at collapsible water bottles on Amazon, but the reviews were not very good. All right, so that is the gear. Now let me. So I asked Chat GPT about tip apps and stuff that one can use when one travels abroad. So it's given me a list. So like last week, I'm going to share my screen so you can see the app suggestions. And it also broke it up into different categories, and then we might check some of them out right now while I'm going live. So let me share my screen, and let's find chat. Okay, smart travel content ideas. Give me a second uh, with this. So, okay, let me try again. And let me know if you're able to see. I don't know who's joined me live, but let me know if you cannot. It takes a while for the screen to show up. Okay, let me check YouTube to make sure it is showing up. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I need to scroll up. So, okay, let's start with flight booking and tracking. So Hopper predicts the best time to book flights and hotels using price trend data. Great for budget conscious travelers. I tried using Hopper today. I'd never heard of it before, but it was and maybe we look at it later. The second one is Skyscanner. I've used Skyscanner a couple of times. It's a powerful meta search engine that compares prices across airlines and OTAs, flexible search by month or even everywhere as a destination. So I'm looking at booking flights for India, and we're also looking at going to Vietnam. So I use Skyscanner. Flighty is a premium flight tracker that gives real-time updates, delay prediction, gate changes, and even where your inbound plane is. I've never heard of this app before, so I'm definitely going to check it out, because especially when the airport is huge and you have a connection and you're so worried you'll miss it, or they haven't told you your gate yet, or you don't know how long you're going to be stuck at the airport. I think Flighty is great. Kayak searches flights, hotels, and car rentals. Useful price alerts and mobile only deals. So it's again, it's like Expedia, or you can also book on Expedia. And then Google Flights clean interface, powerful filters, and shows alternate airports and flexible dates for better savings. I used Google. So this morning, because I haven't booked my tickets yet for India and Vietnam, I did use Google Flights. I use Skyscanner, I use Kayak, and all the prices were different. And in fact, Google would give me certain prices, and then when I clicked on the deal, it would say unfortunately and it was giving me like almost double the price. So uh it just so this part I find so painful, like, trying to figure out the best flight and the deal, and also what is the best time of the month to travel, because my dates are a little flexible, but then I'm not able to find something that gives me two or three options. Say, don't travel on the 6th, travel on the 7th, because this is the price you get. If you have used something that has worked for you when it comes to booking your flights, let me know, because I have still not found that magic app online, which gives me, which makes it really easy for me to compare flight prices based on different dates and give me a really good flight, a ticket price, I mean. Okay, so that's with flight booking and tracking. The second one, which I think a lot of people might be aware of, there's booking.com for accommodation booking, Airbnb. I know some people also use VRBO. I've been using Airbnb so far, and now I like Airbnb because there's no hidden fees. Right off the bat, when you go to Airbnb and you put in your dates and your city that you want to stay in and how many people, whatever price you see there is the final price. Because in the past, you would book a hotel, an Airbnb, and then it says one price, and then after that there's a cleaning fee and this fee and that fee. It was sometimes you have resort fee and taxes, and then it's so much higher. So now I like that Airbnb's changed that. Agoda is particularly strong for travel in Asia with frequent deals and last minute offers. I think I've booked hotels through Agoda in India in the past. And then there's Hostel World, the go-to platform for budget travelers and solo backpackers to find hostels with community ratings. All right. So again, if there's anything else that you've used, let me know in the chat or the comment. Packing and planning. So, Pack Point, smart packing list based on weather, destination, trip length, and activities. Customizable and easy to use. And we look at some of these after I finish with the list if there's time. The next one is TripIt. Automatically combines your travel bookings into a master itinerary. Just forward your confirmation emails. I think that is so cool. So it's going to, I've not used this either. These are all new to me. And this is thanks to ChatGPT sharing all these that I'm learning about them. The next one is Wanderlog. Combines itinerary planning, maps, collaborative trip ideas, and budgeting in one place. Great for group trips. And then the final one is Sijik Travel, offline travel maps and pre-built travel guides for thousands of destinations with curated attractions. So maybe we can look at some of these after I'm done with this. Next one is navigation and maps. Of course, Google Maps is amazing. Though I know in some countries, maybe in, was it Japan or somewhere, it didn't really work so well. What I like about it is you can download offline maps in advance, because sometimes internet can be sketchy. Even if you have an eSIM, if the internet in the place you're traveling to is not very good, you can have your offline map. Another offline map app is maps.me. It's popular with backpackers, shows trails and lesser known paths not on Google Maps. So that's really cool. I have not done any trips abroad where I backpack. It's usually staying in an Airbnb, visiting some of the tourist spots, trying out all the local cuisines, shopping, etc. We might find a place where we maybe do a mini to hike or walk, but not hardcore backpacking. So hats off to all those who travel around the world backpacking. I think it's amazing. You get to see, as they say, her trails and lesser known parts. The next one is City Mapper, the best app for navigating public transportation in major cities, real time updates, delays, and optimal zones. And again, s- I believe all these are global or universal, but it's good to check if when the country you are traveling to, whether this app exists, whether you can actually use it there, because some apps are banned in some countries, or they may not work so well in some countries. Rome to Rio visualizes how to get from A to B using all possible methods: plane, train, ferry, bus, taxi, and car. I love it. All right, so that's navigation and maps. This one is this, and again, these things are helpful for people who have moved to another country, not just traveling. You're just A lot of this, when you're just new, it's like being a tourist, right, or a short time traveler, because you have to figure out all this stuff. So just want to put it out there. Language translation: Google Translate offers text, voice, handwriting, and photo translation in over 100 languages. So when we went Switzerland and Germany, I think Japan too, maybe, any country where English, the products in the stores or the signs are not in English. This is huge. It's so helpful. Say hi, more natural voice translations for conversations, ideal for real time chats. I just learned about Say Hi recently, and I think that's so cool. And I need to test it out. I haven't tested out the voice translations when you're trying to communicate with someone. The next one is iTranslate, clean interface with voice to voice translations. Premium version includes offline capabilities. Yeah, for all these language translations, you need to have internet. And so I like that iTranslate also offers a premium version with offline capabilities. And then there's Microsoft Translator, includes group translation mode and works well for business travelers. The group translation mode, I guess, when you're traveling in a group, might be very helpful. Okay, currency conversion, currency. I used it for the first time last year, and it was really helpful with converting, doing, because especially in Japan and Australia, like, where I keep forgetting what's the exchange rate. It was like, oh, this costs so much. So at least you know how much you're paying. In India, I kind of, because I've gone so often, I have a sense of the prices. But any new country I travel to, the XC currency is so helpful. Then there's also Currency Converter Plus, simple UI, tip calculator, and historic exchange rate gaps. I guess for people who are traveling to the US, the tip calculator would be like very helpful. I'm sorry that you have to pay a tip when you come here. And what was nice when we traveled to Japan was that you don't tip people. In fact, it's considered rude, and you're insulting them by giving them a tip. So it's so stress free, and like, they're not being nice to you because they want a tip. Here, whenever someone's really nice to you at a restaurant or cafe, like, I think they want a tip. That's why they're being so nice. You start judging them. Then there's Revolut, a digital banking app with great exchange rate, spending insights, and virtual debit cards. Excellent for international purchases. They haven't mentioned Wise here, WISE, but I use Wise. Again, I did use so many things for the first time last year. In the past, I would use like credit cards, our regular credit cards, or we would exchange money at the airport or any money exchange places, and you lose so much. I like Wise because I could just keep loading it up with from my bank with US dollars, and then when you're in that country, it asks you if you want to pay in US dollars, or you know uh, because it's like it gives you like a debit card. So when you put your debit card to pay, it'll say, do you want to pay in US dollars, or do you want to pay in the local currency? And I forgot which one. I think it's better to pay in the local currency, because then you're not doing the exchange rates. I'm sorry, it's been a year since I traveled, so I should have done my homework, but you can look it up and figure out and which one is better. All right, so that's the currency conversion. Or connectivity is, again, like so many game changers here. We use Aerolo, so buy affordable eSIMs for 200 plus countries. Skip the airport SIM card lines. Yeah, when you get to the airport, they're always trying to sell you SIM cards. The one thing I we noticed with Airlo is you need to make sure you download it and activate it before you go to the country. So I didn't do it, and then when we were in Japan, I think maybe even India, I was having issues with Airlo. So I think you have to just make sure it's all activated before you leave whichever country you got it in. It may not, you may not have an issue, but my husband did it before we left the US last year, and then I didn't, and then I was having issues in both India and Japan. Then there's Nomad. It offers global eSIMs and data packages for frequent travelers or digital nomads. Then there's Skyroam, a Wi-Fi hotspot device with global coverage, pay per day or via unlimited subscription. And then there's Wi-Fi Map, user-contributed Wi-Fi passwords for millions of hotspots globally. So lots of apps here to test out. So it's exciting. I did recently come across a new one called Get Sally. Maybe I will. Let me see if I can look at that one because I just heard about it. So I'm going to share. I can't switch screens here, so let me stop sharing this, and then let me try sharing the Get Sally affordable eSIMs. Yeah. So it's affordable eSIM data for international travel. I don't know how it compares with Airalo, but I just discovered it and I thought that was interesting. It says security. Let's see what it's secure. Is the security features better? It's virtual protection. I'll have to see if I want to stick with eSiley or I with Siley, or whether I want to stick with Airlo or go with Siley. If we are traveling to Vietnam, then I have to make sure they have it there, that it works over there. And what is refer a friend? You know, so it has a referral program, invite a friend and get US $5 each. So, oh, that's very cool. Maybe I'll download on the App Store and I'll set it up, and then I can maybe share the link here, and every time any of you join it, I can get $5. Why not, right? All right. So that, let me stop sharing and go back. Stop sharing and let me go back to my screen to continue sharing the. Okay, so that's the Wi-Fi and eSIM. Next is local transportation and ride share. There's Uber, there's Lyft, which most of us have heard of. I actually just learned about Grab before I did this Chat GPT, uh, you know, research, because I joined the Facebook group for travel to Vietnam, and people were mentioning Grab in there, that that's like more affordable. So I'm going to definitely look at Grab. I mean, I'm going to download the app. I've heard of Bolt, but I've never used it. Popular in Europe and Africa. They say it's cheaper than Uber. And then there's Move It. In Europe, we've never, yeah, I think once we used Uber when we were getting back from the Eiffel Tower to our hotel. We had a flight the next morning and we used Uber, I think it was Uber maybe. In India, I use Uber. I don't think there's Lyft. Like some countries have Lyft, some countries have Uber. I mean, I think it was Uber. I think Lyft is only US-based rideshare app with competitive rates and tipping option. And there's Move It, offers local transit maps and real-time updates in 3,000 plus cities. Then food and dining. So there's Yelp. It's crowdsourced reviews, menus, and photos to help you choose where to eat. I use Yelp in the US all the time. Sometimes I use Google reviews, but mostly Yelp when I'm checking out a new restaurant. Um, or even sometimes, no, Uber Eats I've never used. So Uber Eats only, okay, I'm confusing you guys. So Yelp gives you crowdsourced reviews, menus, and photos to help you choose where to eat. Then for Europe, it's The Fork. So Yelp is based in the US. It's actually based, I used to host events at the Yelp office in San Francisco. The Fork is Europe focused reservation platforms with discounts at participating restaurants. Then there's Google Reviews, reliable, up to date, and often includes opening hours, menus, and photos. Then there's Happy Cow, the best app for finding vegetarian, vegan, and health conscious food options. And then Uber Eats, reliable food delivery service in major cities, often integrated with your Uber account. So, since Uber, Uber, how many cities did they say? They said Uber's available in over 80 countries. So Uber Eats also would be available there. If you don't feel like cooking in a hotel or your Airbnb and you want to get food, there's all these options. The next one is photo, video, and memory keeping. So Snapseed, Google's professional photo editing app, great for on-the-go touch-up. So I guess for people who are doing a lot of Instagram and stuff, maybe they could look at Snapseed. Then there's Lightroom mobile advanced editing tips for serious photographers with cloud sync. Then there's Google Photos, backup photos, auto organizes by date, place, and shares easily with friends and family. And then there's Splice, quick and easy editing on mobile, perfect for creating reels and travel vlogs. Now, except for Google Photos, I didn't know about any of the other apps. So I think that's really cool. Then let's look at safety and emergency, especially when you're a solo traveler, expat woman traveling abroad. So for the US State Department has Smart Traveler, it's travel advisories, embassy info and alerts, very helpful, especially sometimes some countries are not safe for Americans to travel to. And of course, uh, you could check with your country. I think every country, their website will have, like, travel warnings, etc. Then there's Strip Whistle, emergency numbers for police, fire, and ambulance in over 190 countries. Be Safe, personal safety app with location sharing and fake call feature. That's another cool one. And then there's NordVPN, encrypts your internet connection to protect privacy, especially on public Wi-Fi. I think that's a cool one, right? Because sometimes we have to use public Wi-Fi, and who knows, with all the scammers and people hacking, yes, so many people get their stuff hacked when they're abroad because of public Wi-Fi. So that NordVPN sounds very cool. And then wellness and self-care. And even though you're traveling and it's so amazing, I think you still need to take care of yourself. So Calm is guided meditation, sleep stories, and breathing exercise to ease travel anxiety. And even if you're excited about traveling, if you don't like to fly, if you're nervous about the country, the public transport, etc., I think something like Calm is really cool. Insight Timer is free app with 100,000 meditations for stress, sleep, and focus. Then there's MyFitnessPal, tracks food, water, and workouts to stay on top of your health while on the move. And I'm really glad ChatGPT suggested this as one of the categories for traveling or travel apps, because I think it's important to take care of your health, take self-care, because traveling can be exhausted. How many of you have felt when you come back from a trip that you need another trip to recover from that trip, right? So I think doing this stuff, staying calm, tracking food, water, maybe finding places to work out in, eating, even though you want to try all those foods, I guess also eating a little healthy is important. And then finally, Headspace, user friendly mindfulness and mental fitness app with travel specific meditation. So here it is. ChatGPT has given us 12 categories. Um, of travel apps. I thought I would look up some of them, but I think a lot of them are on the phone. So you have them all here. I will share links to them in the descriptions. It may take me a while because there's a lot of them, but hopefully you find this valuable. Let me know again in the comments what travel apps you use. Have you tried any of the ones I've mentioned? What travel gear you use, or anything else you want to add to what I just shared in terms of categories, etc. And if you like this video, do hit the like button, do subscribe to this YouTube channel, and watch my other videos. And I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.